Hey friends, it's Charles with another edition of Paper or Plastic. And I want to share with you one of my personal favorite comic books, Harley Quinn number 73, if you can tell. It's a book that I actually framed and have hanging on my wall. And I want to get into it with you guys a little bit. So let's talk about Harley Quinn number 73 from 2020. And it is made by Humphreys, Basri, and Hi-Fi from DC Comics. This is actually the first Harley Quinn comic book that I bought. It's a little story time. I called up my local comic book store at the time to put in my new orders. Actually, it wasn't a call. It was a Facebook back and forth. And the owner said, hey, I got something that you're definitely going to love. Because I was a new comic book fan. He knew I was a huge wrestling fan. And so he sent me a picture of this cover with Harley Quinn in knee pads, wrestling gear, with the championship belt. And I was like, yes. Even if I don't like the story, I have to get this cover. And so I did. And I really enjoyed the story. It's the beginning of a great arc with Harley Quinn. She had just moved from New York or Gotham to Los Angeles to kind of start over. And part of that starting over was becoming a professional wrestler. And, you know, she's building her name as a professional wrestler. And one of her rivals is her roommate and best friend who ends up being mysteriously murdered. And so this arc is her trying to figure out what happened. And, you know, it's a fun read. I've read it multiple times. I love the arc. And like I said, it's the book that got me into Harley Quinn. And I've actually been reading Harley Quinn. I finished out this series and I started a new one. I've read up to 57, 56. I didn't enjoy a lot of the multiverse stuff in the latest Harley Quinn. It was just kind of confusing and a jumbled mess, to my opinion. And the art style, I was not a big fan of. I still have 56 or 57 sitting here waiting to be read. It just, you know, it became a chore. Yeah, here we go. Number 36. Yeah, it really became a chore to keep up with, and it became something that I just did because I was reading the series. And so I paused it, but I hear number 58 is going to be the start of a new arc with, I think, a new writer. So I'll probably try to jump back in and see if it's something that I enjoy. But back to this book. Anyway, this, like I said, is one of my favorite covers of all time. Holds a special place in my heart because it was my first Harley Quinn book. And so I'm on Amazon one day, you know, looking for action figures, and look what pops up on my suggestions. The Harley Quinn, not only Harley Quinn, but Harley Quinn from this exact cover. Everything from the title belt to the knee pads, the wrestling gear, you know, the band-aid on the cheek. And it was a must-buy for me. And I think, you know, apparently I'm not the only one who remembers this fondly because this was a couple years after this cover. And, you know, I think it's a cool thing to be able to connect one of my favorite comic books of all time to a specific figure. You know, I have a few comics in my collection that stand out. They stay on my reread pile. But I don't have a figure or even a Funko commemorating that exact cover or that exact issue. And so this is something that is very cool. Holds a special place in my heart. And I have a lot of Harley Quinn. I have 2 or 3 Harley Quinn Funkos and a lot of action figures. I might do a whole video of just showing my different Harley Quinns. Um, she's a great character, and I think if you read through all the different iterations of her, from Harley Quinn main series to the Batman White Knight and beyond, Harley Quinn and Harleen, you know, you have a complex character, that, you know, is a very competent, brilliant doctor, but also insane and morally dubious at times. It's unpredictable and fun. So that's why I enjoy Harley Quinn. And like I said, it's one of my favorite covers. I think, you know, if you can get a hold of this cover, I think it'd be a nice piece for any collection. Um, you know, I have it hung up, framed on my wall. You know, and I think, you know, this right here may add a little. I don't know if it adds so much financial value, but it definitely adds personal value to having this issue that's tied to this Funko. Anyway, this has been Paper or Plastic, looking at Harley Quinn 73 and my Harley Quinn Funko from this cover. And I will see you guys next time. Keep collecting. And later.